Imagine coming home and finding strangers living in your house, eating your food, courting your spouse, spending your inheritance, and everyone has quietly agreed to forget you ever existed. That's not a thriller plot. That's the ending of a 3,000-year-old poem. And the hero's answer is one of the most shocking revenge moments in all of literature. A beggar, a bow, and a hall full of dead men. This is the Odyssey. And no, it's not the story you remember from school. The Odyssey is attributed to Homer, a bard or a whole tradition of bards singing around the 8th century BCE, centuries before anyone wrote it down. It's the sequel to the Trojan War. The war is over. Troy has burned. And one Greek king, Odysseus of Ithaca, the architect of the Trojan Horse, still isn't home. 10 years of war, then 10 more years of wandering, because on the way home he blinded the son of a god. And that god, Poseidon, lord of the sea, has sworn he will never see Ithaca again. Meanwhile, on that island, his wife, Penelope, is surrounded by over 100 suitors who want her hand and his throne. His son, Telemachus, is one vote away from being murdered. The stakes are simple. One man against the sea itself, racing back to a home that is forgetting him. Odysseus's goal never changes: go home. Every monster, every storm, every temptation is just the sea asking the same question in a different voice. Who are you, really? It starts in the cave of Polyphemus, a cyclops, a giant shepherd who eats men whole. Trapped, Odysseus does what he does best, he thinks. He gets the monster drunk, tells him his name is Nobody, and drives a burning stake into the single eye. When the giant screams for help, "Nobody is hurting me," no one comes. It's the cleverest trick in all of myth. And it's also his fatal flaw, pride. Sailing away, Odysseus can't resist shouting his real name back at the monster. Now the Cyclops knows who blinded him, and his father is Poseidon. From that moment, the sea itself becomes the antagonist. Poseidon doesn't delay Odysseus, he hunts him. A bag of tied-up storms is opened by his own crew within sight of Ithaca, blowing them back to square one. A witch goddess turns his men into pigs and costs him a year. In the underworld, a dead prophet shows him the shape of his future. A death far from the sea, old and at peace, but only if he makes it home. He sails past the sirens with wax in his crew's ears and himself tied to the mast, hearing the song "No Man Survives." He loses 6 men to a 6-headed monster because some losses can't be avoided, only chosen. Then a thunderbolt drowns every man but one, punishment for a crew that ate what belonged to the gods. Alone, Odysseus washes up on the island of Calypso, a goddess who offers him the opposite of Poseidon's rage: immortality, eternal youth, eternal comfort, if he forgets Ithaca forever. She's the softest monster in the story. And for 7 years he sits on her beach, weeping toward the horizon. Home, the poem insists, is not the easy choice. Home is old, mortal, scarred. Penelope is aging while Calypso never will. But Odysseus chooses mortality. The gods finally take his side, Poseidon is outvoted, and Odysseus washes up on Ithaca 20 years after he left. But the sea was only half the antagonist. The other half is waiting in his hall. Athena, the goddess of cunning herself, disguises him as an old beggar. In his own house, Odysseus must watch the suitors devour his wealth, insult him to his face, and plot to murder his son. The man who outsmarted everyone must now outweight everyone. He swallows every insult. He lets a younger man strike him. One more trick, one more patience. Then the trap will be set. Penelope, still unmatched after 20 years, announces a contest. Whoever can string Odysseus's great bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads wins her hand. Suitors strain and fail, one after another. Then the beggar asks to try. The laughter dies as the scarred old man strings the bow as easily as a bard strings a lyre. The arrow flies through all 12 axes, and then it flies through a suitor's throat. Odysseus sheds the rags. With Telemachus at his side, he turns the hall into a slaughter. Every suitor dies. But the twist isn't the violence, it's what comes after. The next morning, Penelope still isn't sure, so she tests him one last time. She orders their marriage bed to be moved. Impossible. One bedpost is a living olive tree, rooted in the ground, carved where it stood. Only 2 people alive know that secret. When Odysseus explodes, "Who moved my bed?" Penelope finally breaks down and embraces him. The man who broke a cyclops and outsmarted the sea is defeated by his own wife's cleverness, and that's the point. So why does a 3,000-year-old poem still matter? Because the Odyssey was never really about monsters. The monsters are maps of us, the fruit that makes you forget, the song that sings your own glory back at you, the comfortable island that asks you to stop striving. Every age gets the temptations it deserves. Ours just has better marketing. The poem's core question is brutally modern. In a world that keeps offering you easier, shinier versions of yourself, what makes you, you? Odysseus's answer is memory and the people who hold it. Identity isn't something you carry, it's something you return to. And there's a second lesson, quieter and maybe deeper. The hero wins by enduring. Not by strength, by patience, disguise, swallowed pride, waiting. In an age obsessed with instant glory, the Odyssey argues that the hardest heroic act is to be no one for a while, so you can become yourself again. Home isn't a place on a map. It's the self you choose, again and again, despite every god and every sea. So here's my question for you. Calypso's offer, immortality, no pain, no aging, but you forget everyone you love. Or a mortal home that remembers you. Which do you choose, honestly? Tell me in the comments. I read all of them. And if you think Odysseus was the clever one, wait until you meet his wife on equal terms. Our next video on Old and New looks at Penelope, the woman who outweighted the sea. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, keep reading the old and the new.